30 years ago, Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park brought dinosaurs back to life in a perfect mix of practical and groundbreaking digital special effects. Jurassic Park fever took hold in the early 90s. The book, The Making of Jurassic Park, inspired many filmmakers. I read this over and over, cover to cover. In this series, I'll be taking you to the exotic Hawaiian film locations that featured in this book and in the movie. It was an adventure of a lifetime that I never thought I'd be able to do. But in true Jurassic Park style, life found a way. Today we are in Limahuli Gardens, which is on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. This is where they shot the Raptor Pen scene for Jurassic Park. We're just doing a tour of the gardens, and we're going to go down to where the Raptor Pen was. For about 1500 years, the Limahuli Valley has been considered a Hawaiian place. Today, Limahuli is one of the last easy-to-access valleys. It has intact archaeological complexes, a native forest, a pristine stream, and the presence of the descendants of the valley's original inhabitants. So behind is the visitor centre, where Spielberg constructed the Raptor Pen. You can see in this behind-the-scenes footage the construction of the Raptor Pen on the site of the Gardens Visitor Centre. I remember seeing this set construction as a picture in the book The Making of Jurassic Park as a kid. Production designer Rick Carter said, "There is a sense that you get in some movies that you've really travelled somewhere. And Jurassic Park has that largely because of Kauai and the power of its imagery and diversity." Here is the location of the Raptor Pen. Spielberg directed the scene just here. You had your characters walking down here.
We laid on lunch for you before you set out.
Towards the Raptor Pen. It's just cool to think it was all here. Steven Spielberg stood just here. The walkway around the visitor centre is literally in the same place as constructed on the Raptor Pen. I'm not sure if this was by design. These are pictures of the set being constructed in 1992, just weeks ahead of the arrival of the first film unit.
Guy came after a car, to tow.
We had a chat with a very nice lady who was working at the gardens. She said that part of the original set was used as an entry gate to the gardens for a while, but unfortunately it disappeared a few years ago.
2 years ago when that happened.
Oh, was it?
I've never found it or I'd keep it.
That's such a shame.
I can't quit staring at your eyes. I'm trying to, but...
As a cinematography student, I was interested to read that Jurassic Park cinematographer Dean Cundey said Hawaii was notorious for changing light with the clouds constantly coming and going. The weather at this location on the north coast of the island, actually most of Kauai's, is very unpredictable. Whilst at the gardens, the weather was constantly changing. We witnessed a cycle of cloud, rain and sunshine. It seemed to change every 5 minutes. In my mind, the use of these locations over the studios added a level of authenticity that perhaps you don't get in today's CG-heavy productions. The Raptor Pen first appears in a night scene. This is the opening scene to the film where the audience is plunged straight into the action. Here is where the Raptor cage comes in on a forklift truck. It's dropped off just here. The Raptor goes banzai, the cage pushes back, the Raptor grabs one of the workers. Robert Muldoon starts shouting, "Shoot her, shoot her!" That happened right in this spot here. It's hard to imagine. The entire sequence was captured here at the Gardens in 1992. Parts from one shot which literally shows the cage coming through the trees. This was actually shot at Griffith Park in LA. The last scene at this location is when Laura Dern and Bob Peck's characters discover the raptors have escaped due to the power outage. In line with previous episodes, I brought a 35mm film cutting. Sadly, I couldn't get my hands on any celluloid featuring the pen in its entirety. I was kind of hoping for a wide shot. It was cool to think this is where Spielberg, Cundey, Kennedy, and the Hollywood cast immortalised those scenes, right here in this space.
That's a cut right there. Great! Fabulous! Okay.
I cannot recommend more coming here to the gardens. The staff are lovely and it's such a beautiful place to come in Kauai. So yeah, if not for the Jurassic Park location, just come for the beauty of the gardens. The Limahuli Gardens are located right on the Nepali coast. Many movies have been shot here and we could not resist doing the hike on the famous Kalalau Trail, one of Kauai's most infamous hikes. Not just for its screen time, but for being known as one of the most dangerous hikes in the world. I couldn't help feeling a little like Indiana Jones on this hike. Raiders of the Lost Ark was actually shot on Kauai. On the drive here to the gardens, I actually spotted one of the iconic locations from the opening scene to Raiders. The weather was all over the place, and I brought the worst pair of trainers, so I even opted to go barefoot at times for extra grip. The Kalalau Trail was absolutely stunning, and it was evident why it had been used in so many movies and why so many people, despite the level of risk, do the trail. We also had the opportunity later in the trip to explore the Nepali coast by sea. The Nepali coast featured in the Jurassic Park sequel The Lost World, and also the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Spielberg is also said to have used the location as inspiration for Never Never Land in the 1990s film Hook. So we was just driving along the highway and we noticed another Jurassic Park filming location. This is the Jurassic Kahili Ranch. This is where they shot the Brachiosaurus scene at the beginning, where they get out the Jeep and they see the Brachiosaurus pulling on the tree. And I don't think they're too shy about the fact, because they've got the logo on the post. I'm sure they get lots of Jurassic Park fans like me coming to take a look. But it's a really beautiful place and it's definitely worth a visit if you're here. As we drive back towards our apartment on the other side of the island, we reflect on another day of adventure. Muddy and tired, we randomly chat about how movies can represent a moment in time, perhaps in the same way a song or a smell can evoke a memory. I know this has certainly been the case for me. Today was definitely another one for the books. We will leave it there for now, and we'll move on to another Jurassic Park film location and another episode. Thank you for watching.
Put your arm down.